also tries to endear himself to his Jewish subjects, and that was to refurbish the temple, which we'll talk about when we get to Jerusalem, how it was become really one of the most beautiful buildings in the Roman Empire. But of course, on his death, he decides not to give the entire area under his control to one son. He decides to divide it up into tetrarchs. And so his second son, Herod Antipas, is given this city in honor of the Caesar. But back in those days, it was very much a mixed city, in as much that the Jews that lived here, we sort of nicknamed them Hellenized Jews, Jews that had assimilated into a Roman sort of lifestyle and could actually live with the fact that there were statues in the city, and that's a pagan image. You don't have statues in your city. If you're a Jewish town or city or village, you certainly wouldn't want to have a theater. You wouldn't be comfortable with even the concept of sort of the bathhouses and so on. I mean, it was a very different lifestyle, and so Tiberias was very much a sort of a Roman type city, and Herod Antipas was the tetrarch of this area. But with the destruction of the temple back in 70 AD, and then in 135, we sort of mentioned it yesterday, Emperor Hadrian and his punishments as a result of the second Jewish revolt that broke out. You know, how dare the Jews revolt once again against Rome. Jews were forced to move to this area of the country, to the area of the Galilee. And so, you know, sort of Jewish areas were growing up and more synagogues were being built. And what started off as once very much a sort of Hellenized Jewish town, in the end turned out to be one of the four as a V sort of shape. To get just a little bit further on, you'll see the cliffs on the other side and that great sea route. You can picture it from yesterday, sitting up there at Precipice at Nazareth, or standing on Megiddo. You remember that the great sea route comes through the Jezreel Valley, goes around Mount Tabor at the end, really hot and humid, and just about any, they certainly had date parties and so on. You would expect to find those all the way around. But of course the big thing is the Sea of Galilee. All right, the sea, when you look at it, it's on that pile of rocks. Yeah, okay, so just so that you should see conies. Now you'll recognize them. Hopefully you'll see them also in Gedi, in places all over the country. So now look for them, now that you know what they are. And you'll find them, of course, several times in the Bible. You'll find them in the book of Deuteronomy and in Leviticus. It specifically talks about the coney of one of the animals that you may not eat because it's not kosher. Because it's so prolific in this country, they probably wanted to make quite sure you didn't eat it as being a non-kosher animal. So conies appear there. They often appear in the Bible as rock badgers as well. And they like to sit over there in the rocks and sun themselves this time of the morning. And of course they appear in Psalms. And the area of En Gedi was of course the inspiration for many of David's Psalms. So